Some crossbreeding experiments turn out to be quite successful, while others just end up with some downright creepy results. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 dark crossbreeding experiments that went very wrong. Starting off at number 10, the Chimera. So just to get you up to speed on the origins of the Chimera, it was an ancient creature from Greek mythology that was essentially a crossbreed of many different animals that had been fused together to create one superior being. So this bizarre crossbreed is already off to a creepy start with its name alone. In the experiment, scientists managed to implant human cells into a monkey embryo and inserted them into a surrogate mother who gave birth to 4 human-monkey hybrids. However, only one baby chimera survived after birth, and the other 3 strange monkey hybrids sadly passed away. The surviving chimera is believed to be living in a laboratory in China where scientists are using it to study how it can be used to treat serious diseases in humans. This has obviously raised a ton of questions around the ethics of the crossbreeding experiment, but it also remains as one of the creepiest human hybrids to date. Number 9. Human-pig blood transfusions. This horror film-esque experiment was conducted by scientists who had the desire to try and find new ways for safe blood transfusions in humans. While past crossbreeding experiments between humans and pigs involving organ transplants were ultimately unsuccessful, scientists believe that blood transfusions assisted by pigs could potentially work. This of course has once again raised ethical concerns in the scientific and animal rights communities though, as the early blood transfusions that were conducted on the pigs had some negative results that did cause complications for the swines. The idea of fusing human blood with pig's blood is also just downright creepy and could potentially cause some serious lifelong issues for humans if it is not conducted properly. While the scientists have to be extra careful that they don't create another global pandemic, the possibility of humans receiving pig's blood in the future is all too real. Number 8. The mouse with the human ear. This creepy mouse, dubbed the Vacanti, was the result of a bizarre experiment conducted by scientists at the Massachusetts General Hospital, which saw them inject cartilage from a human ear into a mouse's backside. As a result of the experiment, the mouse grew a human-like ear on its back, and the scientists ended up with a frightening creature that looked like it was created by Resident Evil's Umbrella Inc. The scientists claim that the experiment was conducted with the hopes of growing human organs and small body parts in animals that could be used for transplants. Since the infamous third ear experiment, the Vacanti method of transferring cartilage into mice has been used multiple times since then to grow other parts of human organs, including lungs and hearts. While the idea behind the experiment may be beneficial to humans at some point in the future, the original Vacanti mouse with its human-like third ear was definitely the freakiest of them all. Number 7. The human-rabbit hybrid. This strange experiment actually started off with good intentions, but still produced a pretty creepy result. Scientists injected human stem cells into a rabbit egg, which was then inserted into the uterus of a female rabbit. Much like other similar experiments, their reasoning for the crossbreed was to grow human-like organs inside of a rabbit that could be used for transplant surgeries to save lives. Now, at face value, this doesn't sound like that bad of an idea, but of course the ethics of injecting a rabbit with human cells was never a good thing and was always going to be met with controversy. While the experiment did prove that human organs can be supported by the rabbit embryo, the results still created a tiny rabbit-human offspring that was rather hellish looking. Also, the idea that a rabbit could share some similar characteristics with humans is definitely a little concerning to say the least. Number 6. The Zedonk. This one is a step away from the human and animal crossbreeding and just focuses on 2 animals creating one wild-looking offspring. This crazy-looking animal mixes a zebra with a donkey and creates a bizarre-looking child that looks like it was put together with pieces from a lost and found bin. While there are not too many Zedonks that exist, the ones that we know of are quite strange-looking to say the least. They are relatively small in size and have brown fur like a donkey, yet they share a tail, facial structures, and striped legs with their zebra parent. And the Zedonk is not just a modern phenomenon either. These crazy looking crossbreeds were reported on as early as the 19th century, when Charles Darwin wrote about a Zedonk at the British Museum in his book The Variation of Animals and Plants Under Domestication. While there have been multiple Z-donk hybrids created over time, it is not known why they were crossbred in the first place or what kind of research the scientists were trying to conduct. All we know is that we were left with one very strange looking new species. Number 5, the two-headed dog. We've probably all seen a multi-headed dog in a fiction film before, but did you know that a two-headed dog actually existed? Soviet scientist Vladimir Demikov attempted to create a two-headed dog on multiple occasions, and on the 24th try, he finally had a bit of success, much to the displeasure of many people around the world who found the whole experiment to be very unethical. Demikov completed the surgery by amputating the lower body of one dog and making an incision on the side of another where he would place the second head. He managed to keep the heart of the amputated dog beating before attaching it to the body of the host, and completed the whole surgery in about 3.5 hours. After a lot of vascular reconstruction and attaching the vertebrae of the dogs together with plastic string, both heads were able to use all of their senses, and Demikov's creepy two-headed dog was complete. The fact that Demikov chose two different species to work with though made the whole thing a lot scarier. We can only hope that we have seen the end of two-headed dog experiments. Number 4, living lettuce. This actual living, breathing plant is the result of the sea slug known as the Eastern Emerald Elysia consuming way too much algae. While algae is the slug's main source of nutrition, it ate so much of it that it literally experienced a full-blown transformation and turned it into the world's first plant-animal hybrid. This is due to the fact that the slug can now produce its own chlorophyll, which is the substance that allows plants to soak in sunlight and convert it into energy to allow them to grow. This essentially means that the Eastern Emerald Elysia has two ways that it can survive, much like a hybrid vehicle. So while every other living animal needs food to survive, this unique sea slug could theoretically just rely on solar energy to keep on living. While this is undoubtedly very unique and interesting, the metamorphosis has also seen a drastic appearance change for the slug, as it now looks like a creepy piece of lettuce swimming through our oceans. Number 3, human and cow hybrid milk. Scientists in China were studying new ways to produce genetically modified milk when they decided to inject lysozyme, a protein found in human breast milk, into a cow's udder. Perhaps to the surprise of many, the cows successfully produced a modified beverage that they claimed could be consumed by human infants and would help boost their immune systems. While this did initially sound great, many other scientists from abroad raised concerns about the risk of fusing human and cow's milk and claimed that the fusion could potentially lead to deadly diseases over time. We all know that many of the world's worst pandemics, including mad cow disease, have transferred from animals to humans, so perhaps this unsettling milk experiment was not the best idea. On top of that, the scientists then took it one step further when they decided to clone the cow and create multiple hybrid milk producers. While initial tests may have seen some success, this creepy milk experiment could lead to a biological disaster. Number 2, the human-pig hybrid. While we've heard of the human-pig blood transfusions, scientists tried to take things one step further by creating a real-life pigman. Scientists at the Salk Institute managed to implant human cells into a pig embryo with the purpose of growing artificial human organs that are made from animal tissues. This is an experiment that looks to one day support human organ transplants to save lives, but the whole thing definitely has a bit of a mad scientist vibe to it. There is a long way to go in the research before human-pig organs could actually be used in real-world surgeries, but researchers are seriously pushing for this crossbreeding experiment to be replicated and improve the whole process. While some scientists really did just want to grow human organs for transplants, others had the clear intention of creating a new species of mutant pigmen for reasons that are beyond our comprehension. The results could ultimately provide the world with a terrifying new pigman species. Number 1, the mouse with human brain cells. Another experiment that saw human cells mixed with an animal embryo. This creepy crossbreed was the result of scientists injecting a mouse with human stem cells with the goal of housing the cells in the rodent's brain. Perhaps to the surprise of many, the human cells were able to successfully live inside the mouse's brain as they remained protected by the host cells. The human components also managed to develop structures that are found inside the human brain and heart while living inside the mouse. While this experiment was originally conducted with the goal of finding new ways to treat deadly diseases in humans, scientists made the shocking discovery that the human brain cells were functioning normally inside the rodents. While parts of this experiment seemingly worked the way the scientists had intended them to, there is no telling how the human brain cells could mutate inside the rodent and possibly create a terrifying new crossbreed species. And that wraps up our look at the top 10 dark crossbreeding experiments that went very wrong. Let us know which one of these experiments really gave you the creeps, and don't forget to like and follow for more top 10 videos.